Welcome back to Marketing Gems. Before we get started, I just want to say that this Marketing Gems video is part of a YouTube channel, so do subscribe to get your weekly marketing gem. Today is all about personal branding and personal brand you. And I'm talking about this subject because people buy from people. And as a sole trader, a small business owner, then your personal branding is an essential part of your marketing mix. So personal branding is all about having that recognizable identity to be able to showcase who you are, what you're all about, show people your values. And if you don't take control of your own personal branding, the likelihood is that somebody would do that for you. So it's better to be in control of your personal branding than not. So I want to start off by giving you my definition of personal branding. So personal branding is the art of creating a recognizable identity for yourself and then maintaining your reputation of your branding online and offline. And how you build a personal branding, it involves you understanding who you are. So really looking inward and doing any kind of self-evaluation or self-reflection is a really hard task to do. So as part of doing your personal branding, not only do you have to look inward, you have to get other people involved. So you really want to get a holistic 360 view of yourself, and you want to be asking people, what's their opinion of you. But the best way you can start by looking at your personal branding is to identify, what do you want to be known for? So personal branding is what people think of you or say about you when you're not in the room. So to start off your personal branding journey, my first tip for you is to think about, what do you want people to say about you? Secondly, what do people already say about you? So ask people, maybe online, to describe you in 3 words. And then ask a friend or a colleague to do some of that work for you and ask people, because you'll find we are very British, so we won't always give the full answer or the right answer. So we might sugarcoat what we actually think of somebody. So if you ask someone else, what do you think of Jem when she's not in the room? And you might find out a little bit more about your own personality and about how you're coming across to people without having to do some of that groundwork yourself. My third tip for you is to not forget the detail. The detail is really important. Your personal branding involves everything from what you say, what you look like, how you dress, why you wear certain things, and why you show up, why you turn up in the first place. I want to give you some examples of that. So if you think about the likes of Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, they've got an iconic style, and if you see them, you know them. If you think about Sir Alan Sugar, he has that famous scowl and his catchphrase, "You're fired." If you think about Richard Branson, he's good with business and always comes up with wise words and wise sayings, which is why he's quoted all over LinkedIn every 2 seconds. So it's really important that you think about those little details, and you have to live your brand 24/7. And that comes on to my last point, which is around being consistent. Once you know what kind of personal brand you want to put across, as a self-employed business owner, you have to live and breathe your personal branding 24/7. I've seen countless people be a different person at a networking event, but when they're on online forums, it's almost like keyboard warriors ghosting, hiding behind the keyboards, that they all of a sudden become a different person. But if you want to create a personal brand that is recognizable, that is tangible, that somebody can get hold of and know you and describe you and feel, why you're in business and who you are, you really have to live it. So if you're a bit catty on Facebook forums, but you're sweet as pie in person, let's put it this way, that sweet as pie person is not going to get a look in, because if you're coming across as catty or bitchy on forums, then that's what you're going to be known as. And I've seen this in a few instances over the last few months with people who have almost changed, like Hyde and Jekyll. I can't even remember, but you know what I mean. They're 2 different split personalities. So don't be that person. Live your brand, your personal branding consistently 24/7. Okay, so, and I wanted to give an example about networking. If you run like several businesses, myself, so I do these, I do a little bit of marketing for self-employed entrepreneurs. I also do a social enterprise that encourages businesses to get young people into the workplace. And I've got a business where I'm looking to smash a load of crockery and glass and make some art. So I've got kind of 3 things on the go at the moment. So when I go to networking, if I was to talk about all 3, or maybe one week, one the next, it's a very confusing message. And, you know, it's a mistake we can all fall into quite easily. So if you're in the position where you're doing multiple things and you're thinking about your personal branding, think about something that might encompass all of the elements of what you do under one umbrella headline, or think about the audience. And I did that this year. I go to a networking group called 4N, and I found that actually I'm speaking to self-employed entrepreneurs, a lot of like micro businesses, and it wasn't quite the right fit to talk about access generation as the social enterprise. Smash It, I'm still developing. So actually my message really should be about my marketing and my marketing gems. So for 2018, I've changed my tactics. So my messages are consistent, and I would recommend that you do the same as part of your personal branding. So what's your personal branding? That's what I want to know. Who are you? What is your personal branding? What do you want to be known for? If you are struggling with trying to work out what your personal branding is, then I am here today to offer you a personal branding audit. I will work with you. We will come up with a summary of who you are, what your characteristics are, what you want to be known for, and what currently people are talking about you. And then some top tips to express your personal branding online, followed by some further recommendations to help you really harness that power of your personal branding. So if you want a personal brand audit, I'm offering that for £50 today. So do have a look in the links. Have a look at the blog that goes along with this week's Marketing Gems. I've put a load of detail in there as well. I hope you're enjoying these weekly tips I'm giving. I try and vary it. I've got my topics kind of planned out for the year. I've been very organised for 2018. But if you have anything in mind that you want me to chuck in the mix, then do let me know. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I shall catch you next week.